Next is parallel inverse analysis. And once again, Demay or myself will do a detailed review of parallel inverse in another PowerPoint. For the purposes of this part 1 session on basic trade plan, what I've done is I'm giving you the concept, the key concept. So once again, before we get into pairs, what you need to understand, and this is again for new traders, I guess, there are essentially 8 currencies, 8 core currencies that we look at: the US, the yen, CAD, euro, Swiss franc, pound, Aussie, and Kiwi. You'll notice that I've grouped yen and the CAD with the US because they tend to follow the US, and I paired the Swiss franc. Once again, these are currencies on its own. The Swiss franc, pound, Aussie, and Kiwi with the euro. What you need to understand is these 8 currencies, the combination of these 8 currencies essentially gives you 28 currency pairs. Okay. Now, and I must emphasize this: if you're a beginner or even early stages of your intermediate level, I would strongly suggest that you focus on mastering the majors first, and that's what I'd like to cover initially in the free classes too. Start mastering the majors, then kind of start going into the yen crosses, and then graduating into your exotics. You'll notice all the majors are in green, the yen crosses are in yellow, and in lavender I have the exotics. Okay. I've lined them up by their base currency on the left. So all these are euro pairs, all these are pound, the Aussie pairs, the Kiwi pairs, the US pairs, and the CAD and the Swissy. Okay. There are 28 possible combinations. So if you count, these first are 7, then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 28. Okay, that was just to give you a lay of the land, so to say. Now, when it comes to parallel inverse, first of all, understand that there are 3 major economies in this world: the US, the Europe zone, and Japan. So of course, US and Japan are countries, and the Eurozone is the zone itself. It's the economy. But those are the 3 largest in terms of the GDP, whatnot, right? And essentially, those are the 3 currencies: US, yen, and the euro, that essentially drive everything else, believe it or not. The other thing I want you to notice is anything with a white background and black writing for the purpose of this demonstration visually is parallel pair, and anything with a black background and white writing is inverse pairs. So you'll notice when it comes to US majors, all these pairs, US majors, the pound US, the Aussie US, and the Kiwi US follow, not always, but more times than not, follow the Euro US. And once again, the other reason is because their economies are closely interlinked with the European zone, and also in terms of the proximity on the world map, they're located closer to Euro versus the US. And in terms of currency pair combination or currency pairs, they're all to the left. So in this case, pound is on the left, Aussie is on the left, and so is the Kiwi, and so is the euro when it comes to Euro USD. The reason that USD Swissy is a inverse pair to the Euro US, even though Swiss is strongly related to the euro, the only reason it's just the inverse is because, of course, the Swissy is on the right and the euro is on the left. That's all. And you'll see, and we'll cover this a lot in our classes, if you were to put up a Euro USD and a USD Swissy chart, they are like mirror images in inverse. The Aussie and the Kiwi are not always the case, and neither is the pound in all cases. But in most cases than not, the USD Swiss is a mirror image in inverse of the Euro US. The USD Yen is pretty much an independent pair. Now, Jeff covers this a lot in detail in the advanced classes. For the purpose of the basic, all you need to know is USD Yen does not have any parallel or inverse. It does not. It's an independent pair on its own. It dictates the market. The USD CAD So in this case, the CAD follows the US. Okay, the Canadian currency follows the US economy because of the proximity and the fact that US is the largest trading partner with Canada. Okay, when it gets to the yen crosses, what I've done here is once again in the center I've got the yen crosses lined up. So let's start with the first one. And on the left, I've identified which is the relevant parallel inverse pair. So you will see the first block, Euro yen, Pound yen, Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, their relevant major, Euro US, Pound US, Aussie US, Kiwi US, and is parallel to it, and so is the USD yen. So let me just pick up the first one, Euro yen. So you will see between Euro yen and Euro US, in both cases, Euro is to the left. Hence, this is parallel. And also in case of Euro yen and US yen, yen is to the right. So if you're just focusing, if you're doing the currency plan, for instance, for the Euro yen, right? These two are parallel, and believe me or not, but when USD yen and Euro US start going short or long together, this puppy here, Euro yen, can give you tons of pips. So, and that's why doing a parallel inverse analysis is important, because as you start lining up the fibs and the support resistance in all three pairs and whatnot, gives you a superb pip potential on the relevant pair on the review. Same with Swissy yen and CAD. For instance, Swissy yen, yen is on the right, hence USD yen is parallel to Swissy yen. But in case of USD Swissy, you'll notice Swissy is on the right of USD Swissy, whereas Swissy is on the left of Swissy yen, which makes USD Swissy an inverse of Swissy yen. And you can kind of figure this out on your own for the rest. So what I've done is I've put up the exotic pairs as well. I don't want to go through in detail through all, but I'll just pick up one. Euro CAD, for instance. Euros on the left, Euro USD and Euros on the left as well for Euro CAD. Hence, this is a parallel pair. When it comes to USD CAD, again, CAD is on the right, and the same concept applies for the rest. So, as I said, I think you should pause here and on your own and think through what I just said and try and understand how this all works. Right now, before I leave the slide, the point I want to make, I re-emphasize, and when I showed the slide to Dinesh, she also pointed out that I should definitely put this up here. These are relative relationships, which may not always be in perfect alignment, depending on the fundamentals and the technicals which are driving the current market conditions. Once again, those folks who think that technicals only drive the currency markets, I think they are being naive. Fundamentals do drive the currency markets as well, and you don't need to be an economist, by the way, to understand how fundamentals drive the currencies.